Are we on? Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Edge and Node House of Web 3 happy hour today. Great to see all of you here. Super excited. And this is like one of the best parts is when we get to see what all of you are building that we see in all the different rooms. Just a quick shout out. If you want to host an event here, you can scan that QR code and or talk to Trish. And if you or your friends are not a co-creator and you're interested, you can scan this QR code or talk to George over here. But super excited. We're all here. This is the house of Web3 from Edge and Node, which is a core developer of the graph. I think he just left, but one of the founding team members of the graph is here visiting from Latin America, Martin, but he's out, but super excited to have an OG here. So we are going to start today with VibeTrading.dev, an AI native crypto trading terminal. And we have the founder here, Ning Ren. He is ex-Google, XTL at Pony AI, and he's going to show us a little demo. So here you go.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So my name is Ning. I'm the founder of VibeTrading.dev. So today I will show you the product. So it's called the AI native crypto trading terminal. It is so don't you have the pinpoint that you have many trading ideas in your mind but never have a chance to put in reality? So this is a tool using AI agent can help you just playing with idea and put into the real trades. For example, if you predict the Ethereum will going down, you can do like input a query like I will 5 times leverage short ETH when it goes down, and the system will just do all the like back testing, data analysis, and turn it into a tradable like program and trade for you. Just I will show you a live demo. So this is a interface. If you can enter the URL of VibeTrading.dev. It's currently live and launched. So you can, for example, you can see, sure. Oh, sorry. Short ETH 5x when it goes down. And you click build my agent. You enter the IDE view and the agent response, do all the analysis and writing the code, strategy code, and generate a strategy. And I also prompt you to run a back test and test with the real historical data. You can instantly see like if the idea work or not. So, and if you are satisfied, you can click deploy. And since I have already input my like exchange API key, so currently it's running on the Hyperliquid. So I have input my Hyperliquid API key, so I can just check live. It will just trade with my real money. Just operate my account. Oh, I need to go to the. Yeah, this is the one I just created. You can see I have been running many different strategy on my account, and it's just a combination. I can instantly, I can just know like if it's working with the real market. And if you click into it, since it's just newly created, so it's all empty, but you can check the log. You can even check the code. It's just basically under the hood is the Python code with our framework. Yeah, yeah. That is the demo. So if you are interested, you can join the Discord to get the implementation code. Currently, it's closed beta implementation test free phase. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Ooh, thank you. All right, next we have FetchFox, a developer-focused web scraping API. It uses AI to let you scrape sites in minutes without the need to write CSS or Xpath selectors. Developers who just want to get some data without learning the intricacies of web scraping can save hours of work with FetchFox. And we are going to have the founder, Marcell, here right now, and who is a main developer of FetchFox. Here you go. Are you ready? Yeah. Do you want like here? Like this? Right here? Nice. Or I can move it over there.
Over here means long enough to get all the way.
Yeah.
Over here.
Cool.
Thank you. And should I use the microphone?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's this for? Okay. Womp womp. Hey guys, can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. Cool. Let's do slideshow mode. All right, sweet. So this is FetchFox. It is an AI scraper for developers and AI agents, mainly developers. AI agents, kind of a buzzword I put in there. It's for developers. Any developers here? Anyone? There's a few. Okay. The rest of you will be bored. Sorry. This is scraping without FetchFox. Just so everyone knows, scraping is when you get data from the internet into like a CSV, like a spreadsheet. So let's say you want to scrape Polymarket, want to get all the data off there. Say, okay, open up Chrome Inspector. Developers, you guys have all seen this, right? You say, okay, what is the CSS selector here? That's the data I want. You write some code with the selectors right in there. It's beautiful code. Oh, it doesn't work. You made a wrong selector. Okay, you code it, you fix it. You have another bug. You fix that also. More bugs. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. And your goal is to get that Polymarket data out into a nice format. Just keep running through bugs. Once it works, you deploy it at scale and you get throttled, block bots, Cloudflare, all this stuff. Terrible. It's really bad. So I've run a lot of web scrapers. I run through this all the time, and it's very sad, which is why I made FetchFox. So with FetchFox, now it's much better. You do npm install FetchFox SDK, and you write this code, which basically says scrape Polymarket, scrape all the events in Polymarket, and get out the name, volume, and the % chance it'll happen. Also Python SDK. So you might say, well, I don't believe you. That's too easy. Well, let's do a demo. Because it is that easy. So can you see the screen? It's kind of small. Let's make it bigger. Cool. So first demo, this is a list of all the Pokemon over here. This is Bulbasaur. We're just going to scrape Bulbasaur's. Actually, first we're going to get the HTML for the page. So this is the main sandbox. Visit basically goes to the page and gets the markdown form of the data. So let's do that. So went to the page, got all the URLs of the page, the HTML, and in a nice markdown format. Super easy. Let's go ahead and extract some data. We're gonna do Pokemon again. So we're gonna do these 3 Pokemon over here, get their names, numbers, and basic stats. And what you'll notice is I'm not writing any Xpath, which I normally would with the old style of doing scraping. So down here, it's running, and it takes about 10 seconds to run, which when I do demos, it's a 10 seconds for me to make small talk or kind of stall while it runs. So this is the stalling part of the demo. Sometimes I play Jeopardy music, not now. So yeah, so there's the results. Bulbasaur, its number. Oh, got it twice actually. That's funny. Well, that's a bug. But the base stats it also got is a dictionary. And if you want to click in here, you can see the actual JSON that you get out. So super easy, very easy. We're gonna do another demo, but first, you might say, well, okay, that's cool, but oops, wrong one. That's just a ChatGPT wrapper. I could just dump it into ChatGPT and do the same thing. You're stupid. Go away. So not the case. FetchFox is designed for developers and agents, developers, which means we have trade-offs that are for this use case. So left-hand side is stuff that FetchFox does well. It's good for low-cost, high-volume scraping. It does context reduction, which I'll show you. It's super cool. It reduces cost a lot. Really fast concurrent execution. You can run 1,000 scrapes at once or 1,000 URLs at once or 10,000, whatever. It's API first. We have SDKs and everything. Right-hand side, technical users only. So if you're not technical, don't use it. You won't like it. It's not user-friendly. There's no integrations. And also, importantly, it is not a general-purpose web agent. It can't do your shopping. It can't research like OpenAI can. It's cheap, low-cost, fast, concurrent scraping. That's what it does for developers. Example use cases, you can probably imagine price monitoring, market research, stuff like that. Demo, again, so it's going to be a more complicated demo.
I'm going to show some more cool stuff over here, and I'll get cut off at some point, or I'll stop demoing. You can also actually crawl an entire site. So let's say you want to go to PokemonDB.net. You just want to get all the URLs on PokemonDB.net. You say, I want to go here, URL pattern, run this, and it's going to go to the page and it's kind of randomly go across the page and see concurrent. This is concurrency, by the way. This is like all the tasks it's running. So you guys see it's visual, it's cool. Developers, you guys probably love this. Non-developers, you think this is stupid and too complicated. But this is all the URLs it's finding on the page. And let's say I only care about the ability, or else I want the item URLs. So I'm going to say PokemonDB/item ***. I'm going to find all the item pages. So, just different use case. Again, it sends out the crawler. It goes here, found item, found some more items. Cool, very cool. You can also launch a scrape job, which is a combination of crawling the entire site and converting the data into a structured format. So again, PokemonDB.net. We'll do non-Pokemon one next, but just more Pokemon. So it's going to find all the Pokemon in here and just get them into the same format over here, get the Pokemon name, number. And what's different about this endpoint is I don't have to pass in a list of URLs. It just finds them for me. Again, here's the concurrent execution. You can see it's pretty fast, in my opinion. It should be faster, but it's kind of fast. So to find all these URLs, all the, Bronzor, Bramblin, so all the new ones. Pikachu's probably somewhere in here. There's Pikachu, found Pikachu. Very great. Cool. And then it puts them in a nice format over here. Again, you can actually kind of zoom in on one of them. And one more kind of cool thing I'll show you guys, and then we can go through this, 2 more slides or 3 more slides. One thing you'll notice over here is if I click into the job, you can just see kind of the prompt that it runs. And look at this. We set 100,000 tokens to ChatGPT, which is lining Sam Altman's pockets, which you don't like, because it's very expensive, because it's dumping the whole HTML of the page in here. What you can actually do with FetchFox is you can just go content reduction, where I already ran one of these. So this one over here ran in a mode called, you can see this here, called reduce mode, where the AI takes the page and slims it down based on patterns to just the context the AI needs to run the job. So instead of sending 100,000 tokens, when we do context reduction, here's actual completion. Over here, we only sent 1,000 tokens. And I think that should be brought down even lower to like 100 or so. But so the point is we got 100x price reduction. So Sam Altman, take that. No more money for you. Okay, great. So that's the demo. I'll go, no more, I'm gonna do polymark or something, but back to the slides real quick, sorry. So business model, cost plus pricing with volume discounts. Basically means you pay the fee plus the AI costs plus proxy costs. We don't pay these, you pay these and our fee, and that's your price. So talk to us if you want to do high volume. The price varies by a factor of 100x depending on what you're scraping. So it's really big variability, which is why we do this model, because some sites are very, very hard to scrape, a lot of bot blocks, whatever. Some sites like Pokemon, super easy, very fast, low cost. So talk to me about pricing if you want to. Finally, it's kind of interesting for you guys, because crypto audience, FetchFox is not a crypto startup, but we're a crypto native company. What that means, YC, safe, that kind of stuff. No, we're not doing that. None of that. Out the window. No VCs. If you're a VC, don't talk to me. What we are doing is a fair launch token, which we like. It'll be called Fetch. And basically, instead of raising funds or monetizing a company through YC Safe, et cetera, VCs, options, none of that. Give me a Fetch token through Clarity Act, super compliant, really, really cool. So join the Discord for updates. The link is on there. FetchFoxAI.com. Join the Discord. Yeah, I guess that's the whole demo. I don't know, any questions? Yeah, question. Oh, so there's like 4 API endpoints: visit, extract, crawl, and scrape. All 4 of those are in the MCP server. I kind of put it together over a weekend, but if you want the MCP server, message me and I'll make it even better. Someone asked for it and I made it, and it's kind of okay. Yeah. Yeah, question. Not right now. And the reason is because it runs in a cloud, and I want to kind of open source the library, but also it's like there's a lot of assumptions in the library about like message queue and database and Postgres that it's very hard to open source. So sadly, no, you have to run it in the cloud. You can use your own API key though if you want to. Yeah. Yeah, question. Oh, right now, not really. It can do very limited interaction, no login. I might add that at some point, but it becomes very hairy because scraping is 100% legal if you're doing public sites. Private behind login sites are much more dicey because user agreements, stuff like that. So it's much more dicey territory. So sadly, no, sorry, not right now anyways. Going once, more questions? Going twice. Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. Please check it out. FetchFox AI. Use it if you're a developer.
Thank you. Love the name. All right, next up is unicorn.eth. Provides no-code infrastructure for any community to launch branded smart accounts for their members and customers with built-in wallets. Bio is our man Gardner here, whose career started at MTV, fun fact, and NBC, earning Emmys right here. You didn't know we had someone famous co-creating here, but we do. I'm a fangirl for Gardner, so.
Mutual. Yeah, we're gonna go over. Oh, this is the older version. I thought I was updating the new one. Okay, this will be interesting then. No, it's fine. I had a different presentation, but this is cool. We can do it off of this one. Essentially, we are creating a branded Web3 account system for brands, businesses, and I'll go through some of the use cases. And then if we have time, I'll actually do a demo of it. Effectively, this is creating a super app for any brand business. So I'm sure you're all familiar with the base app. It's doing that for the base ecosystem. You can do this now for any ecosystem, whether you are a club, whether you are the House of Web3, whether you are a large global brand, and we'll go through some of these. So essentially, this is the solution that we were looking for. There are 99% of the people in the world are not familiar with what the term Web3 even means. And so we want to create something that is going to work for everyone, where they can just use blockchain infrastructure with an email address. And so that is our goal, and that is our mission, and that is what we have effectively done here. And it's one-click onboarding. You have no phishing that is actually possible because it doesn't connect with dApps or apps that are not approved by the brand or business. Everything is curated. There is no network confusion of like what chain, L1, L2, L3, yada, yada. And no spam tokens are able to even go into the wallet that is displayed to the end user. Of course, they will display on, let's say, Basescan or Polyscan or Etherscan because there is a 0x address behind it, but you'll see how this operates on the front end. So Web3 and a friend of mine, Jamie, said, well, it's really the internet is a cesspool of scams, and all of these things apply, but they're hyper intense when you're in the Web3 space, of course, because everything is financialized. And that can cause a number of issues, either through the actual UX of the user, where they have to go sign things, they have to scan QR codes and all of those things that are going to trip up the general normie that is not a Web3 native. And then you don't necessarily know where to go and what to trust based on all the different platforms that exist where people can actually spoof a link or a site or something along these lines. So we've tried to ensure that all of these things are not possible when you use our system. Who is we? My co-founders, Griff Green and Russell Castagnaro, have been in this space pretty much as long as I have, but they've done so much more. They've been so much more impactful. Griff Green was one of the white hats that helped claw back from the original DAO hack way back in the day. And Russell has been working on identity software and systems, specifically in the state of Colorado, to create their first digital identity system. And I have been in more of the media space, but have been in the crypto space for a very long time. More cycles than I'd like to admit, and have also worked with some security teams like Cube3. And so this is essentially the product that we have created, and we launched with ETHDenver this year in order to be the infrastructure layer for them. If any of you went to ETHDenver, you actually already used our product. You would create an ETHDenver account, and then you would have the username that is part of a subdomain that is tokenized. And so you actually have a username that is human readable, that is also a 0x address behind it. But this is the way that you can have any brand or business actually have a subdomain that is actually a wallet address. So you could do this with your own DNS record, and then you tokenize it. And then it becomes a way that people can interact within that community in a safe way. So they have a patronage token that is called Spork. And within their ecosystem, I can send anyone just based on their username that, and of course, it is all on chain. And these apps that are in their ecosystem are all selected by them. So every wallet is connecting with these different dApps. And I'm not going to go into the case study of kind of like how this all was transformational and useful for them. But these are some of the other partners that we have. And I'm actually going to go into Polygon because we can do this for large global ecosystems and L2s. And we have done so for them. We are also working with the UN on some projects around the world, as well as Gitcoin. We have something coming up with them that's going to be pretty fun. The next slide requires some audio, and it'll be about a minute-long video, but we probably won't go into the whole thing. But this will explain, based on our fun unicorn mascot, what we've done with Polygon and how all of this kind of ties together in a bit of a bow here. So we can see.
Salutations. I'm Bridget here to reveal your new Polygon account. All you need is an email address to sign up and claim your unique Polygon username. That is also a free ENS subdomain. That means your username is a wallet address within the Polygon account community. Explore all kinds of decentralized applications. Start earning just by holding crypto. Buy Bitcoin or even gold. Check the odds of future events on Poly Market. Make crypto donations with Giveth, or even play on-chain games with Gladiator. Just tap, and your account wallet will connect instantly. With Polygon accounts, you can easily explore Web3 and onboard into crypto seamlessly. To fund your wallet, buy crypto through multiple services like Stripe, Coinbase, and even Apple Pay, or deposit funds from an existing wallet. Safety comes first with Polygon accounts because it is built to protect you from phishing and scams, so you can explore decentralized applications with peace of mind. Opening an account is 2 clicks away, and it gives you all the Web3 benefits without the hassle. With your Polygon accounts, exploring, transacting, and interacting in Web3 is now simple and safe for everyone. Your crypto is secure, apps are at your fingertips, and the possibilities are endless. Any Polygon-compatible app can be included.
Just get to the demo really quick.
Claim
But
username
one
at
thing to note here
VibeTrading.dev
is
and
that
make your
any app
Web3 journey
can
magical.
go into these ecosystems. And so we have an SDK, and it's a one-click system where anybody can interact with one of these dApps. An example of this, there we go, is the actual like admin dashboard for, in this case, Polygon accounts. So if I was an admin of a community, this is no code required. I would come in and I would be able to add a dApp. Now it could be one of our collection, like that we have within our ecosystem. So you could even add kind of like Web 2 applications, and I'm not going to do any of this because this is actually live. But you could also add a custom dApp, and you could add a Web 3 dApp or a Web 2 dApp, and I think we all know the distinction between those two. I won't necessarily go into it. But one of the cool things that is possible when you have one of these Web3 dApps, and this is kind of the preview of kind of like what somebody would see in their account, is that you can one-click connect to these applications. So I just clicked on a Web3 game, and I can begin playing it immediately. No signing, no QR codes, no scanning. Everything's happening on chain already. So that is kind of the way that people interact with these things without needing to have seed phrases, without needing to scan things, without needing to do any of those complex things that you might expect. We have all of this like curated wallet system as well. So they only allow list certain tokens that would actually be exposed to that end user. So no scam tokens will actually display. Again, this is the preview of what is in that person's wallet. It'll only be the approved tokens that this ecosystem actually wants to display to the end users. Again, spam tokens could get sent to that 0x address, and they would all be on chain, and you'd be able to see that if you knew how to use an Explorer. But if you don't, then it's not going to be exposed to you. You can buy through some of those systems that we just went through, whether it's Stripe, whether it's Coinbase, Apple Pay, so on and so forth. And that is it. I don't want to take up too much time, but I'm happy to take any questions. Yes, so this is something that can work with anyone that has an email address. So in developing countries, they certainly, not everywhere, but most places have an internet connection. So we are working both with the builders that are creating physical infrastructure in places like Fiji and other spots in the world, that in that case, they're trying to create solar arrays and then also have the provenance and being able to track where the actual funds are going to build those structures. And then also for the individuals that actually are using that power in order to create an account, and the metering of that energy is actually being tracked on chain. So there's less possibility for fraud and more possibility for transparency. Yeah, specifically for Spork DAO. So for instance, for ETH Denver, if those of you that have been, you know that in order to go and get a free ticket, you need to be a member of the Spork DAO collective. And previously it was quite challenging for people to acquire Spork, stake Spork. And for those that are new to Web3 and ETH Denver, which is surprisingly 40% of the attendees that go to the event, there was pretty much no way for them to actually go through that process. It would take potentially hours for them to learn about seed phrases and how to get a wallet and then get Spork and all that stuff. So with this process, you just use an email address. And I really would encourage everybody to go to polygon.ac and just create an account literally in 20 seconds. And then you get your username. The same thing is true for ETH Denver. We are also going to be the infrastructure provider for ETH Denver 2026, which is looking really cool. They just released a video of everything coming up. And you will not only get a username that is an ENS domain, as we noted before, but also you will get a Spork sent to you. It will get auto-staked on your behalf. And then you are legally part of the DAO because they are a Colorado cooperative. In order for you to actually be part of the DAO and attend for free, you actually need to be legally part of that entity. Now, whether or not you use a pseudonym or whatever is up to you. But you then get that stake Spork in your wallet, in your account. So think of it like an airline account. You have an account that is easily accessible through an email address, but then there's something that's tracking the points and the tokens that you actually have. But in this case, it's all self-sovereign. You are the holder of these assets as opposed to an airline program where they can do whatever they want with your funds. Cool. All right. Oh yeah, and if you're an investor, come talk to me. We're always raising.
Very slick little last minute little tidbit. Okay, is Dolphins here? Because we haven't heard from you, so I don't want to intro you if you're not here. No? Okay. We're going to go right on to Nettyworth, an AI loan processor for on-chain assets, enabling AI loan matching, refinancing, and open integrations. We have the co-founder and CEO of Nettyworth, July, a two-time founder and former fintech exec. Is that you?
Hey, everyone. Again, thank you for having me. But again, July, two-time founder, former fintech exec, and the CEO at Nettyworth. We're the first AI loan infrastructure that enables users to borrow and lend against both digital and real-world assets. We do that by loan matching, refinancing, and open integration. Over the past year and a half, we reached over 229 million in connected wallet value. We've actually just surpassed over 200 loans processed and already have over 8,000 registered users. We've also raised venture capital from Outlier Ventures, Republic, Acacia, London Real Ventures, Gabby from YGG, and a few YC alumni. The problem that we're solving is that DeFi is fragmented and it's very difficult to actually borrow against both of these types of assets. Also, DeFi is ineffective with providing borrowing and lending recommendations to users. So the people that are actually participating here are really like what you would consider early adopters, right? And for the normal users to come in, they need better tools and better notifications on how they could use these apps. Also, idle capital. So lenders basically have to look for loans for they could lend to so they could deploy that capital and earn a yield. And it's very complex, right? Like building a loan marketplace, a front end, back end, smart contracts, liquidity, all this. So this is why we build an AI loan infrastructure, again, with loan matching, refinancing, and an API SDK. So again, what we do is we scan the user's wallets and we provide borrowing and lending recommendations based on the assets that they have. The second thing that we do is that we enable lenders to deploy capital by taking over loans by basically improving loan terms. So if a lender could improve the APR or the duration of the loan, right away he could take over that loan. And the third thing is an API SDK that allows other companies to build on top of us. The digital back loan market hit 2.1 billion last year in Q1. This is already over a $5 billion market. And again, this is our rapid growth over the past year and a half, but this is the most important thing here. We have YGG Games, who's the biggest gaming infrastructure in Asia, IPMB, who tokenizes physical gold, Hydraulic, who tokenizes business IP, Tristable and Propex, who's tokenizing real estate. All these companies will be using our infrastructure for borrowing and lending. And we're targeting 15% of a $10 billion market over the next 3 years. How do we make money? We charge a 2% origination fee on every loan we process. Anyone that's a partner, we split these fees with them. And how do we compare to the competition? So you have Arcade, Nifty5, Blurb, Gandhi. These guys are great, and they do loans for blue chip assets like NFTs, CryptoPunks, and things like that. But again, in our case, we leverage data and AI to provide new loan opportunities for both tokens, RWAs, and also digital assets. And our token launch is scheduled for Q4, where we're going to be rewarding users for borrowing, lending, and paying back their loans on time. Our go-to-market strategy, we know our target audience. This is a little chopped up, but again, two-time founders with exits here. Ivan is my CTO. He was actually my CTO at my first startup that we had an exit. Advisors, we have Christian, head of Ryo Capital, but this is the most important person right there is Triton. He's literally the third largest liquidity provider in the world. He's also one of the largest CryptoPunk, Bored Ape, Pudgy holders. This is an $85 million wallet. The reason he invested in us is because he basically learned that we were creating an AI loan model that basically would learn the patterns of the assets he likes to lend to, and he would wake up and get these notifications that he could deploy capital. And again, this is what VCs are saying. Ali from Blockchain Founders Fund, Nettyworth is addressing real gaps in the market, unlocking liquidity for these assets. Brian Rose, who I just had a pleasure of having an interview with him in Dubai, also an investor. Only 3% of crypto holders use DeFi. Nettyworth makes it simple for anyone to participate. And again, we're raising $5 million on a $25 million valuation. And this is what we say. Just like Visa and MasterCard are the processor for payments, our goal is to become the processor for loans, any loans that are on chain. We welcome you to join us in the future of DeFi, and thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you so much. All right, that wraps up everybody. Oh, you have a question? Yeah, we have questions.
Yeah, so everything is done on a smart contract. So there's no forced liquidation. Everything is just term loans. When a user defaults, right, that means they basically didn't pay their loan at the end, and then the asset gets automatically transferred to the lender. So Nettyworth never touches any of the capital or any of the assets. Yeah, term loan. Yeah, correct. Yeah, so for us, we actually don't believe that the agents are going to solve this because that's not a real pain point. The lender, the liquidity provider, what they want is alerts on new assets that are hitting on chain and new lending opportunities. And that's really where the AI is coming in. And the ML model is based on their past history and lending. The reason why is because if RWA assets are going to end up going on chain, there's real estate property, there's luxury watches, there's luxury cars. We want to make sure that lenders that are only participating in those markets get to see those type of loans, because those folks are more aware of that specific market, those price oracles and all that. And the only way to do that is by learning and using that data. The entire business that we created actually came from Credit Karma. Credit Karma sold to Intuit for $8 billion. Everyone thought they were a credit score company. They're not. They're a data aggregator for loans. Netiworth, the minute you connect your wallet, already has all the data on your crypto, digital, and RWA assets, and then we match make the borrowing and lending process. Only collateralized, yeah. Yeah. So you don't give us access, or you're connecting your wallet, and then what you're doing is you're using our system to either borrow against your assets or to lend money. So you could earn interest, or if the person defaults, you're getting an asset basically under the price of the loan, right? So most of these LTVs are typically between 40 or 60%. So the lender wants the user to default, but just to give everyone a big thing, most users do not default, right? So that's a big thing to put there. And then just to highlight data, the average user, one user, is borrowing around $25,000 to $45,000 at any given time within the first 45 days. So depending on their profile, we're starting to see massive, like just basically return on user engagement. Yeah. Everything is on chain. Yeah. So these are short-term loans. So we, again, we've been live for a while, so that hasn't happened. We've seen corrections of 15, 20%, but these blue chip assets, like they're not going down 50, 60% on that time frame specifically as well. So yeah, like it's just term loans. But yeah, we just have a user right now that he wants to borrow 150,000 for his CryptoPunk. CryptoPunk is worth 300K. That's a 50% LTV. He wants a 6-month loan. The lender has the right to want to do that or not do that. So we never push that. It's peer to peer. No. Yeah, until Aave does it, we're not doing it. That's it. We're good. Thank you.
Thanks. All right. Do we have anybody that wants to come give 1-minute pitches that didn't sign up? Come on up.
Pull up a website, if possible. It's FLUORA.ai. Oops. Wait. Okay. Hey everyone, my name is Chethan and I'm the founder of Flora. And what we're building is the Zapier for the open web. So imagine for an SMB, they can now create an agentic workflow with real world services. Something like build my website and market it. And now your agent could go to our marketplace and then find a service that could build the website and find a service that could essentially market it. Or something like organize an offsite for me. Your agent could come to our marketplace to find a location through Airbnb and to order food through DoorDash. And we believe this is the future of the internet, that businesses and individuals will be able to launch agentic workflows with real world services and bring them to life. And to make this happen, so our platform is fully peer-to-peer. Which means that an AI agent interacts with a merchant directly and pays them directly with crypto. We think crypto is the best way to make this happen for coordination and for payments. And so our site is called Flora, and we've also created another open source project called Monetized MCP, where we found a way to allow MCP servers to accept payments programmatically and verify them. And so we're off to the races. We're currently live in a developer preview. And if there's any of you who are building services that could be part of our marketplace, and what that essentially means is a new revenue stream for you. And it's very, very easy to onboard with us. One prompt to a vibe coding tool. Please get in touch. We're looking to expand our marketplace with more services. If you're an investor, we're currently raising. And if you're a user wanting to do cool new things with AI, also come to our website. We'll hopefully have a lot of exciting things in the near future. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to pitch? All right. Yes.
Skywalk.2, just type it in. Cool. So I have a fun little project I'm working on called Skywalk. So Hyperliquid and Polymarket were mentioned, I think, in 3 of the pitches we saw tonight. Well, I'm bringing Polymarket liquidity to Hyperliquid. And so Hyperliquid is a $44 billion perp dex. Prediction market perps are coming. There was a recent proposal that passed that will enable this to happen. And what you actually need is spot representation of these polymarket positions to start with on the Hyperliquid chain so that market makers and liquidity providers can actually market make effectively and not get blown out essentially when they're market making these really volatile perp markets. And that's it.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right. Well, thanks for coming tonight. Thanks to all the co-creators that are building great products. Once again, if you want to have an event here or become a co-creator, please scan the QR code or see George or Trish. And otherwise, we have pizza, beer, and wine and LaCroix. All right. Thanks.